This is part two of that first one where I'm saying, you know, I feel like I'm being fake by trying to make like amazing videos. And I admit that I might be excusing my own laziness. And to that extent, I'm just being honest about it. I'm not making enough time to be rigorous with these videos. And I'm not making the type of video that must be researched deeply. That could be even better and cooler. What I'm really saying is like, I have an insight, I want to share it. I'm going to talk and reach people via talking and not via being slick. And again, no problem with slickness. Slickness has its value. But I prefer this to be kind of like bone stock and bare and see how that goes for me right now, because all that other stuff feels like I'm trying to get something from everybody. Maybe there'll come a time where editing the videos and making everything pretty and having a suit and tie on or doing all the research in the world won't feel like that. But right now it feels like I'd be saying like, I want this to be so cool that I can extract money from you. And maybe I'm so sick as I look around at a world and a nation and a culture and a society that the rich are extracting all the wealth from the economy. And I'm looking at how things like Substack was a place where I thought, oh, cool, I can go in there and write. And then people like subscribe to me and maybe pay to subscribe to me. And then I could maybe make a living as a writer. And now I look at it and I say to myself, it's just a bunch of writers trying to get each other to subscribe to them. So it just feels like the purpose is defeated. Like, how many Substack articles can I read in a day? How many people can I follow? If I were absolutely retired, I still couldn't follow all the people that or read everybody I follow. I don't read even the good articles that much, because reading's tough and you can listen and that's great. I just mean we don't have the attention span for almost anything. And so the thing I'm putting out, man, it takes an awful lot of attention span to listen to some dude's 40-minute video about his opinions, but that's what I have. And I don't want to pretend I've got this other thing and that it would be so cool and then you'd buy it and I would be rich, or I would get my needs met from it. It does meet the need that I have right now, and that's just recognizing that there's an insight in there. There's something that I see as incongruent. There's something that I feel like I've got a particular opinion that's worthy of being shared and then being explored. And then that's just what I'm doing. That's just what I want to do. And I hope it reaches somebody. And they say, oh, that's really cool. Now I see a different thing, and I wasn't thinking of that until you, Jason, showed me how to do that, or showed me that it was worthy of a second glance, or a first glance at that matter. And so now I'm going to explore such things for myself and look into the issues and be more curious and be more doubting, or trust my intuitions, or realize that there's more than meets the eye. And so I guess what I'm getting at on a deeper level is that I want to heal or remove or notice or mitigate this kind of dominator culture mindset that I think has dominated and taken over in very obvious and overt ways, but also in subtle ways, to the point where we're all trying to go dominate each other. And we're all trying to go trick each other into paying for our shit and our class and our weekend retreat. And we're all trying to convince each other that I've got the answers for you. Oh, if your marketing's this bad, for $19.95, do my thing, or $4,000, we'll do this thing for you. Man, I made $1 million over the last 2 years by doing this thing that I'm so good at. And then I'm going to get in line and be one of those guys? Oh, my videos are so damned insightful. You just gotta watch them. Look how glitzy they are. With that moon behind me. See how cool I am? Aren't I the coolest guy now? So I just find like I went into writing like so wide-eyed, and this isn't writing per se, but it's my stream of consciousness, you know. And I went and Substack, I was like, I'm on Substack, damn it. And it does feel good, like, to see an essay that I've done. I'm thinking, well, they could never be good enough. I can't do this for a living right now. I have to shuck and jive and make a living, selling houses or landscaping, what have you. So, and I'm trying to compete with all these people who are like writers, you know, that have maybe degrees in it and just damn good and been doing it longer and have more of a breadth of knowledge. They have maybe history degrees and all this cool stuff, and it's dazzling. And I'm of their intellectual level, I think. You know, it's not like they're smarter than me, darn it. But I can't compete. But I don't know that I have to or that I want to. And maybe I do. Let's say I had $1 million, and I could just say, well, I'm going to be the best darn writer, anti-Trump writer in the world. Like, I feel like that space is filled, but I still want to write about it. I just almost feel like one of those small-time car makers. Like, do I have to compete with General Motors or what have you? So what I am trying to do is a different thing, and I'm not trying to fit into some other model of how you're successful. And Substack all of a sudden has just become a giant load of a million, zillion, billion writers saying, hey, I'll subscribe to you if you subscribe to me. I need this to make me a living. And so maybe the actual economic system is so tough that everybody's a writer now. And I remember when I became a personal coach, man, did I think that was the one too. But the thing about both of them is, it's funny, is that I am a really good coach. And I am a good writer. Like, I'm not saying I'm a great writer, but it's really natural and intuitive. And I love doing things that are really natural and intuitive, like for me, music, drumming. And so these are easy loves where the thing just comes out. The music comes out of me through drumming, the coaching insights come out, and then with these writing opinion essay things, it's the same thing. And it seems like by the time I'm done vomiting out one of these videos or writing a Substack essay, then I've got something else to do, work, life, and then the next insight comes. And maybe it'd be cool if I had a team of people that made them so nice and tidy and cutesy, tootsy, and I could make that into this business. But again, I feel like that whole thing is just like, how can I extract your money from you, fellow person scraping to make life happen? Maybe rich people in Hollywood or New York or Washington or wherever would say, man, that Jason, those essays sure make my rich guy life better. I'm going to pay for them. And so I wouldn't feel like I was just trying to extract something. And I know I've been talking a little bit in a circle, but that gets back to that point that um, that kind of mind virus of like this dominator culture stuff, where it's just like, how can I me mine? How can I make my thing work? And then how can I sell my thing to you? And how can I convince you that it's really awesome and that you're not going to be okay unless you have it on Facebook while you're getting bombarded by 75 million other ads? Ooh, ooh, like watch my essay. Ooh, read it. Oh, you can, if you pay to subscribe, you can get the voice version and all these special things that we can do. Special edited this, or like, oh my gosh, it's like we're just begging. On one hand, it's begging for enough money to survive, and on the other hand, it's convincing and selling you that you need it for you to survive. When what you're really saying is, I need this for me to survive. I need you to buy this for me so I can survive. But I'm convincing you that you need it to survive. And to me, that feels so dastardly and so full of bullshit that I can't do that instantly. And so maybe I'm equating making a better finished product with the whole system that seems like it's designed to extract people's wealth from them, even if it's just $5. It feels like it's designed to extract their wealth. And just like the really rich people, the ultra wealthy, are doing with the economy itself. And then they're like, hey, let's give them the Substack thing so they can fight each other over subscribers and $5 paid subscriptions and likes and notes and mentions and reposts. I'm like, ew. It's just terrible. And there's a million good writers on there too. I'm not even trying to take that away from anybody and say, oh, don't go on Substack and listen to these people. They're great. Like, I support their art. But when I go on Substack now, I feel like I'm one in a trillion people just vying for everyone's attention. And the same thing with YouTube. Like, hey, look at me. And so part of me is being punk about it and just being like, it's me walking around the neighborhood just saying what I think. Really, I think I'm like the only one with the guts enough to do that, or lazy enough to do that, or not trying to trick you enough to do that. And to me, that feels good or punk or honest or whatever. So maybe that's all I have right now. Is I don't know how to do this in a way that's dazzling, because I don't want to dazzle. To dazzle is to deceive. It's to glamour. Yes, that's what I'm saying, is that all that is glamoring. And especially for me, like, I'll watch these healer type people, and some of the ladies are so beautiful. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to watch another one of Lisa or whoever it is. And it's like I'm being glamored, or I'm letting that person, like, oh, let me stare at their looks. So that's what I'm saying, is this what we've become? Is where I'm trying to glamour you with the gadgets on my phone that make my videos cooler. Yay! Late stage capitalism is a bummer. I want my writing to feel good. There was a time some years back on Facebook where I would write, like during COVID, let's say, early Trump times and stuff, I would write like a really cool, thoughtful post, and I'd get all these likes and comments on it. And I just felt like this sense of community. And eventually I said, hey, I'm kind of good at this. I should be writing op-eds, whatever it was. And, there's tons of people that are smart and aren't having success with it. So, part of me is just kind of saying, I just want to go back to that. I just want to be heard, and I want to have a conversation in a way that elicits comment, and that elicits thought, and people sharing insights and awakenings and aha moments, so that I'm having an effect on people that's good. And so these insights are for being used for good. And what I'm experiencing is that all this stuff and Substack and Facebook and whatever just gets systematized to the point where they are extracting or getting you to be in a rat race where you go to the next site and now this is where I'll make my millions, or where I'll get in big, or I'll get found by some rich or famous person that'll tell everybody or have me on Joe Rogan, and then I've got it made, And so it's like we're hoping for the social media lottery to save us from the doldrums of late stage capitalism. And so it just feels sick. And so it makes me almost not want to write, but the insights keep coming. And they keep telling me to speak up. And I guess I just want to say to people, like, it's okay to not know what to do. And I guess that's where I'm coming from right now, is I'm saying I don't know what to do about all this. I don't know how to make a living as a writer. I don't know how to make it feel good to be a writer in this time, in this nation. And it's okay to be uneasy about how we go about communicating. And it's okay to want to give people like an unvarnished thing. And it's also okay to want to make a buck, to make a living. But it's okay to say, like, this feels gross. This doesn't feel right. And I'm just here to speak up and say, like, this is what I think. And if you like it, subscribe or don't, or tell somebody about it. I don't know what to do. I'm not the guy with the answers. I'm the guy with the questions. And I'm just questioning this whole, like, selling each other our intellectual property all the time. You got to pay to read my article. And I guess it was kind of cool when you'd, like, go to an op-ed on the Times or whatever it was, and that guy got paid by the newspaper, and you read it for free once you paid for the paper, and instead of paying $5 for this guy and $5 for that guy. And it just gets worse and worse for the consumer when everything gets so decentralized. I'm sure there's some good things to it too, but now it just feels like everybody's a writer, like everybody's a coach, and everybody's a realtor, and everybody's a pet sitter, all the stuff I do. And I don't know which end is up sometimes. So anyway, sorry, that's a lot of rambling. I hope it meant something to somebody, or somebody can relate. And I love that phrase that I'm starting to take on. It seems to be my mind now, is this: I'm not the guy with the answers, I'm the guy with the questions. So there's a slick one for you. Hope that helped somebody, and to all, good night.